Here we go.
Me, by good.
Yeah.
Reality After Show patrons, Wayne Mehmet, President Claudia Karen, Johnny Fairplay, myself, the Matt Bischoff, covering episode 12. It seems like it's been a long time because we had Labor Day weekend, which was last week. I was on a camping trip. I know Johnny had a lot of shit going on, so did everyone else. So we took a little break from this, and then we did the fantasy football shit, which I think I'm not doing too fucking terrible.
Oh, don't get me started. I cannot believe we'll get there. That's Q&A.
But right now we're talking Australian Survivor. And I just want to say I am bummed at the outcome of tonight. And I get it. I get why it happened. I don't blame the tribe for doing what they did, but the devastation of one person before the merge with two idols in the pocket, that's crushing.
That's brutal.
It's crushing. All right. Well, let's start where we left off.
Yes.
Previously on Survivor, Haley is hot and Simon is unstoppable. That's all you need to know, folks.
I mean, for me, Wayne, have you seen this before?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so everyone in this chat has seen this but me. But to me, it was based on the way it was edited. I was like, okay, I know what the outcome is gonna be. Like,
but we're like maybe something magical will
happen. I
I
did think something magical would happen because I was like, man, it seems so obvious throughout that Simon is the target, but like with the whole twist of the advantage and shit like that, I'm like, maybe something could pop off differently. But
did he deserve it? I mean, do you think he's like a douchebag?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I was a little bit at first before the season started, like, but then when we had him on one of the Q&As, Simon popped on from one of his job sites.
We had him for a second.
Yeah, for a second, I'm like, this dude's fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
So, but I will say, starting off the episode, I was like, who got voted out again last time? Oh, Rachel. No skin off my back. I was like, please, thank God. She is gone.
Life is good. Life is good. And once again, Haley is hot. Simon is unstoppable. Nothing's going to change. All right. Well, it's day 24, and it's cold.
It is. It is cold.
And Laura is last and on bottom, and you don't want to be a bottom and last. That's trust me. I've talked to several friends that's their MO, and bottom and last is not the combination you want.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, Johnny. There might be a little bit of
residue.
Yeah.
Is that the word you're looking for?
Yeah, like the reward tonight. I think there's like some cream pie leftovers, something like that.
There was some cream pie.
Yeah. Some leftovers. Shout out to Robert Allen with the cream pie leftovers.
Hey, guess who doesn't mind a little cream pie? Kez loves it. Here for cream pie.
Oh, dude, she was like horny for the can. I've never seen anyone more excited for a reward than that. Even Johnny O, dude, when he's like chicken parm. Kaz with the candy, it's like fucking crazy.
Yeah. All right. So Laura's looking for cracks in the alliance, and George explains to us that hey, I know the pecking order here. Laura is next.
Mm-hmm.
However, I'm if they're smart.
Yes.
So he goes to Laura. He goes, hey, I'm going to go check on Laura. We have to keep an eye on her just in case she could potentially find an idol.
Yep.
And he goes, look, I offer no ill will. However, I'm here on Emmett's bidding to follow you, so maybe we can work something out. And Laura's like, yeah, I don't trust George.
Props to George though for honestly like keeping that door open and like using Emmett's like, hey, go keep an eye on her to his advantage, because some people I don't think would be as witty and smart as King George was in that situation.
No.
great.
No.
Yeah.
He's fucking playing this game, dude. So badass. I love it.
Well, speaking of badass, hard work makes George Cassie.
He farts right next to Gerald. Oh,
You would think Gerald would appreciate a good fart. Not so much.
yeah, I was kind of
No.
thinking the same thing. He seems like kind of the one that would like, made a good one. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But he just is
But
like not real
I
down.
think Gerald has a lot of milk farts, and those are rough.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Oh.
Karen can appreciate a good milk fart
Ew.
Oh,
or appreciate the obnoxiousness thereof. All right. Let's see. On the other tribe, it's a kangaroo.
Yes. I mean, so do you think like if there was like there's no eating kangaroo out there if they could like catch one?
No. That's
They
like
would
eating
be-
a dog, dude.
They would not be down with that.
Would
Well, I
you
will
eat a dog? Would you eat a dog on Survivor?
No,
Yeah.
fuck no. I would not.
Kangaroo.
Wayne, you said yes.
wild dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's
Like
a wild
coyote,
dog?
I would eat coyote, but an actual like German Shepherd or some shit, I would
What,
not.
what about like a Shih Tzu?
I would not eat dog. I would probably eat anything but dog.
I
like,
don't think I could eat any
or a
dog. And
cat, like
for
anything
the record,
domesticated.
for the record, no secret, I hate dogs. Don't like them. Not a
Yeah.
fan. Just not a fan. Don't like dogs.
Yeah.
Catch Johnny on House of Villains on October 12th.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, gee. Stop. You're warming my heart, Wayne. Or where there's a black spot that should be a heart. Yeah, I know. I just don't like dog. I would never eat a dog ever. I mean, other than my favorite Chinese restaurant. Is that can we say that?
I have a question there for you, Johnny.
No.
So, like, I never really
No,
had.
I take it back. I don't know.
Did you grow up with a dog, Johnny?
Okay, so I had cats my entire life.
Okay.
And then in junior high, or right before high school, right. My last year of junior high, my folks decided to rescue a Scottish Terrier that I named Sega,
Okay.
and he was wrapped up in a chain when he was found on the side of the road when he was found by the Humane Society, and we adopted him. And I love Sega more than anything in the world. That's about the only dog I've ever liked.
So, what makes your like hatred, not hatred, but like what makes you not like
You can use
dogs?
the word hatred. It's fine.
Okay, what
uh,
makes your hatred of dogs like considering you had that dog?
Just
Sega
so
that
much.
you
I mean,
loved?
like I've had 2 kids.
Mhm.
They're a lot of work. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
when this kid thing is done, I'm done.
Mhm. Yeah.
Do you
No,
know
that-
the responsibility of a dog? It's like kid is right here, dog is right there.
Well,
Yeah.
I hear you, dude. I have 2 dogs, and like when we go
And
on
2
like
kids.
and 2 kids, and so I
Yeah.
love my dogs, but
But-
it is a lot of work. Like
Oh.
anytime,
Why is there a but?
yeah. And I tell you what, I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on my dogs.
Once again,
because the
I would
breed of
spend-
dog I have like problems galore.
I would do everything I could not to have thousands of dollars of problems with my kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they give you little kisses.
But
Yeah,
so
guess
can
what?
cats. And
So do
they're like
cats.
No.
Boom.
responsibility.
At per resident Claudia.
Well, I
Cats
will if I'm
not-
going to be
Cats
transparent
can't
here.
give kisses.
Oh yeah,
I-
they can.
Oh, they give kisses.
Yeah,
Sandpaper
you just
kisses.
gotta find one that wants to give kisses.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I get kisses. So
I
Jimmy
love
the
having
cat
my
gets-
dogs, and I wanted to get dogs while my kids were in that house so they could experience having a dog.
yeah,
but
and
I
take
will
care
say-
of them
What's that?
and take care of them and not
Well,
you.
that doesn't happen. It's basically me
Yeah.
and
So
Tessa.
you're doing that part wrong. Like,
But-
oh
but
my
I-
God, there's so much problems with
but I
dogs.
will say this. I love my dogs, but Tess and I say this like when our dogs are long gone one day, we've kind of discussed this. She's like, Matt, these dogs have cost us so much fucking money, and we want to go on trips and do shit and stuff like that. Like we got a camper, because we go camping and take our dogs with us because otherwise
Yeah.
you'd have to pay for it to be boarded. So she's like, I think we're going to take a break from dogs. Don't get me wrong, everybody. We love our fucking dogs. Those dogs are like Tessa's fucking kids. They're up there right now on either side of her. She's obsessed with the dogs. But when the dogs are long gone, I'm not going to immediately go out, most likely, and get another dog. Maybe a cat. Tessa loves cats.
All right, well, hold on.
Oh my fucking God.
Well. Who do we have here, hey?
Okay, but before you say a single word, Simon, I'd like to introduce anyone just listening, not watching. We have one of my favorite survivors ever, and I have to say this, Matt Bischoff. I love you. However, in the history of Survivor, there is only one player and one player only I will ever ride the Lightning with.
Yeah.
And his name is Simon. What's up?
I thought you were going to say James the Gravedigger for a second, but no, thank you.
Same difference.
Dude.
What's going on?
Whoa.
Okay, so we've all seen your second season, except for Matt Bischoff, and Matt Bischoff is watching episodically as we go along. So you have Matt Bischoff from Survivor Caramoan in the top corner, who for the record, before you say a word, is pretty good during our cast assessments. He's nailed it thus far. He said Matt Rogers was a douchebag.
Yeah, I think we caught up on this. I think I spoke to you guys at the start of this one, so I think I looked in for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Golden God was a model idiot, and what was Simon? It wasn't flattering.
I don't remember Simon, but I tell you what, you going home with 2 idols in your pocket tonight, I was so bummed and devastated. And like, dude, right before merge, what was going through your head, dude? Like, you're so competitive, and to know you were 1 spot away. Why didn't you play an idol? Did you have total confidence in Danny that she was on your side?
I just think I think even stepping back, it just didn't make sense. Like, it just wasn't at the right time to even shaft an ally, even in that position. Like, if you know exactly where they are, where the idols are, there's 2 of them there, you have access to them. I even offered one to Danny at that time to to hold and to use. I'm like, look, one's for me, but one's for us. Like, this is for us kind of thing. And like, it just wouldn't make sense to be going into a merge when you need numbers on your side to be turning on one of your own. So like, just taking all those things into consideration, it's like, why would it just didn't make sense. It doesn't make sense for the numbers going forward. And I think it kind of, the way I kind of explain it is like, you heard of the parable about like the scorpion and the frog, and like, the scorpion needs to cross the river and then like ends up stinging the frog, and they both drown, and he's like, why'd you do that? And it's like, I couldn't help myself kind of thing. So Danny's plan from the start was to actually pull the rug out from underneath the alpha's feet. So she went out to execute a plan, and she did that. And look, I don't think the timing was right, but hey, it happened.
Wow. I mean, were you like in shock? Like when you left, I know you did your like exit interview, and you're just like, oh God. But you hugged Jonathan and shit.
Oh no, his exit interview is the best. It's like, I almost feel like they threw the challenge on purpose, if you think about it.
Because there was actually a few other things going down at that challenge. Like the challenge didn't actually finish properly. Like there was meant to be 12 balls.
It looked like there were 12, and they called it at 6.
Yeah, because it was too hard or wasn't going to happen. So there were a few weird things that kind of went on that didn't make sense. Even like as it was kind of playing out, that kind of were just lucky they kind of got swept under the rug with how they had to adjust it for the edit kind of thing.
Sure.
Because there was even like, believe it or not, there were actually some meat pies on offer that like to tempt the other team or the other tribe off. So there was like a food reward to like, and that wasn't taken by, that was kind of taken by our tribe at the time, but like it went through a couple of rounds of temptations before we actually got there. So there were a couple of other things in play that really like, that just kind of muddied the water. But I'm like, coming into that, even with having Cara and George there, the numbers like moving forward wouldn't make sense. I mean, coming into a merge, like we knew it was just around the corner, you kind of want those people on your side. And like, yeah, it kind of just blew my mind. And yeah, you just I think one of my biggest mistakes was you just think that everyone is going to make, the best logical decision for them at that time. And when someone doesn't, there's nothing that can prepare you for that.
Yeah. I mean, because I'm sitting there, I'm just like, I didn't know how great a player you were then. However, I mean, the fact that you obtained 2 idols and we're playing a good game, and I've seen you post then, and no spoilers for Matt Bischoff, but I think you're a great player. I think you're a really great player. So I consider myself a great player too. Once you throw in Kara and George, that's enough for me to be like, hey,
enough risk there.
I'm throwing in something here because I can't control even if you play a perfect game, you can't control everything. And I felt like that was 2 variables too many. Plus, you fucking broke your flip flop. You're like, oh, if there was ever a song, like it was just fine.
I know it was crazy how that all kind of happened there. Look, you just at the time you've just got to take all the information that you have, weigh it up with all the risks and everything there, and just I think because everyone was in on it from 3 days beforehand, there was, because of that, it was actually executed so perfectly by everyone across the tribe.
They did.
Across that 72-hour period. So as you try to look for inconsistencies in the time leading up to that, it was really clean. So there was, even with that, the extra factor with Kara and George there, it just, it didn't feel like it would have made a difference kind of thing. And it's it's just such a big fault, in my perception for Danny to do something that I didn't expect, that it was just so out of my kind of scope at the time. But it was at that point, there was only myself and Shannon were the only 2 people on that Brawn tribe who had ever watched Survivor and who were actual fans of the show. So that was a huge thing in itself, where you're trying to.
Haley had.
Haley, of course, but on the Brawn,
from the original Brains tribe.
Oh yeah, but on the OG Brawn, it was only myself.
Oh,
and Shannon.
I can't imagine Emmett looks at anything other than a mirror. but he squints when he looks at it because he's talking, and when he talks, he squints.
So it was pretty funny. I think that by this time I'd kind of given away the fact that I was a fan as well, and I did understand what was going on and stuff, and people were kind of. So after that, I'm I just assumed that everyone would have watched the game as well, and know what they were in for. But then very early on, they'd be like, "Oh, Simon, what would be happening tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Well, if we had a tribal council last night, I'd say it's most likely a reward challenge tomorrow." And they're like, "Oh, okay, interesting." Literally stumbling your way through it that.
Welcome to my world on House of Villains. They're just like, "Hey, do you think they're ever going to eliminate people?" And I'm just like, yeah. How do you think it's going to work? I'm like, well, I think you're going to go home.
It was pretty funny how it all kind of happened. And looking back, I'm glad that there was nothing that I missed. I'm glad that, there was nothing that made me tweak and go, okay, sweet.
Just fine. Do you not believe in signs? Are you, because my girlfriend does not believe it. My girlfriend my girlfriend's an empath, and which I think is kind of hocus pocus, whatever. She does not believe that. She just believes that she's an empath, but she does not believe in astrological signs. She does not believe in fate.
I'm exactly the same. I'm a man of logic. I don't subscribe to any of that. So yeah, there was nothing there.
I'm a man of logic, but I also believe in science. I don't know why. It goes against everything that you would think about me. But if I break my flip flop and I literally say this must be a sign, I'm walking in there going.
So get this right.
This is obviously a fucking sign because I said this is a fucking sign.
I know. So get this right. So my thong breaks like on my very last exit from the game, right? And Matt, without giving any spoilers, I do play this game again. And as I stepped off the truck on day one, like I upgraded from thongs to Birkenstocks for the next one, but my Birkenstock got caught on a vine and it didn't break, but it flipped off. So I'm like, my very first step back onto the survivor field, my shoe came off again, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, and I was freaked out. So like, I
First
flipped
boot.
out that time.
First boot, right? I mean, guaranteed.
I was like,
Play
something's
your
not
idol
right
day
here.
one. It's not like you're going to get cookie or anything. Who knows?
So when you watch this back, so I'm watching this and I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, when Simon watches this and realizes they're throwing the challenge and all this shit, was that the first time you kind of knew, like when you watched it on TV, did you know it was going to be like this? Or did they kind of like tell you beforehand, like, dude, you're in for a treat here?
It's pretty funny. Like after the whole, oh yeah, there it is. After the whole, like watching it back, and I only ever watched it back once, as it was going to, air on TV. Like I find it so cringeworthy watching myself back again. But like watching it, like there was a lot of like conversation afterwards, like before we'd even seen it and stuff. And Danny was like, I can't wait for for this blind side. And even like there are other people like speaking to me, being like, oh, it's Danny's blind side. It's Danny's blind side. And I'm like, I actually don't think it's that. I think you'll find it's Haley's blind side. So that, like I kind of, I kind of had pieced it together in some of the conversations that I had. So I think even like it was eye opening for a couple of other of the cast as to what was actually going down and what was really at play there. So that was kind of cool to see.
Wow.
All right, so walk us through this. So Matt doesn't follow any of the any Australian survivors until he's seen them do what they do. So he's not following you to to avoid spoilers on an upcoming season. So this is from your Instagram, Simon.mee89 on Instagram, and I just took a screenshot because I don't have the capabilities to. So you obtained some wood.
Yeah, so I knocked this I got some local gums from like the Cloncurry area, like near where we played. So anything that's kind of local there, I was able to grab some like similar species to what's available there and knock this up. So was able to just kind of have a nice little memento to remind me to never trust anyone. So this now sits at home, and it's a pretty cool little little memento. Like I have been offered a bit of cash for them, but like I think they just mean too much to me to let go of them.
Oh yeah, is that that's in Simon's house, Matt, right there. The two idols, and he made like it's one of the most beautiful.
That's fucking cool, man.
I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's really sick.
Super cool.
Yeah, and it's nice, like even just having the paperwork and stuff, like that's always something so special for any survival player, is you kind of know to be able to keep that stuff. So it's really sick.
Yeah. Well, most of my stuff is available. It's how do you? I don't know how you pronounce it. It's little E big B AY. Oh, eBay. Yeah, you can find mine at eBay. I have it. Proudly displayed for you to purchase.
Are you selling stuff, Johnny, of your Survivor stuff?
No, House of Villains is coming up. I have something for however many episodes. You never know. I could go home episode 1, but there may be stuff for every episode if I were to make it that long.
Wow. Well, all I know, Simon, is I was a big fan, and seeing you go home tonight was a bummer. But I am glad to hear that you are coming back to play.
I haven't. What's your mindset going? So no spoilers. What's your mindset going into this? I mean, other than if you could give someone the opportunity to ride the lightning, would you?
You've just got to pick the time. Like, it comes a time where you just have to be all in, and you got to risk it for the biscuit, and you just have to ride the lightning. Look, going in the second time was like, I just need to make merge. Like, I want to, like, I know that I had the capability to be a great player, and like to hope that, to play and then leave an impact to be invited back is pretty special. So I wanted to make merge. I wanted to right a few wrongs from the past, and just leave nothing on the table. And I really wanted to win an individual like immunity necklace, because that was, one of those things like growing up watching
Colby.
Yule, watching Aussie in like Cook Islands and stuff like that, just watching like him going on an absolute tear and being like, what, one day when I'm old enough, like I want to go and do that, and like to fall so short and to not have the opportunity was just heartbreaking. So I was going out to make amends, and it would have been like, if I don't make merge the second time, I will be so gutted. Like it would be heartbreaking.
You'd probably kill yourself.
I wouldn't go that far, but like to be a double pre-merge.
Oh well, I don't know. You might not make merge, so you might have. I don't know.
So do you? I want to ask, like, so do you pay attention to American Survivor these days, like the one coming up in a couple weeks here in America?
Yeah, I do, and don't. Like I do try to lean into it, but it's like it's balancing survivor fatigue. I think is always a challenging one for some people. Like Australia, like I'm all in on. But I've had a lot going on in my life. Like I did watch a lot of the last couple of seasons, which have been really great. So yes, I will definitely get around it, but I have to be careful of like my own mental health in terms of like the survivor fatigue, because it is a thing. And I know I've got some seasons backlog to go up and catch up on. So yeah, I can't wait to get through that backlog, but I reckon I'll be tuning in for 45.
Yeah. So,
hell yeah.
So why are you going to be at the premiere in New York? Tickets available at survivortix.com with me hosting. Why?
Yeah, I mean, it was so nice for Johnny to offer to fly me over and pay for the trip.
Well,
I couldn't say no.
I feel the translation button is very weird on. It happens. Hey, you know what? I mean, if you get there and you're expecting the money, it's cool. Sometimes you got to ride the lightning, Simon.
Hey, that's it, right? I'll keep it fresh in my bank account, waiting for that.
Hopefully you can ride the lightning there and back. Matt has no idea what ride the lightning means, but it is, in the history of Survivor, the greatest 3 words I've ever heard in my entire life on any episode ever.
Well, I'm all for it if it's ride the lightning. That sounds good to me.
I mean, listen, how can you go wrong working with Simon?
Don't answer that.
Never go wrong.
Everything I touch turns to gold. I'll leave you with that one, Hank.
Yeah. Okay. So, before we go, before we let you go, because we're going to talk about the episode. So where we left, we're doing an episode recap, and we went into the intro of this episode, and it comes back with Simon explains to everyone that he has the strongest alliance possibly ever in the history of Survivor. 2 idols. He's a challenge beast, and it's obvious that Flick is next and has personally carried the entire tribe on his back, and he has the claws of fire and fury, and you're untouchable.
I still have the full shoulders from Cap. Yeah, there's a lot going on, but I think like when you got like. I actually think that was all filmed like after the your final confessions, filmed after the elimination and stuff. So it's
I feel like that was you walking up like an asshole. Trust me, I've had those moments. I'm just like, should I say all these things out loud? Because if something goes wrong, this is what they're going to show. But if things go right, this is what I want them to show that they want.
And it's just like, you know what, you're gonna go down in flames, you're gonna make it one hell of an explosion, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right,
well,
so
it's a pleasure watching you, buddy. It was fucking awesome.
Thanks, Matt. Glad you're enjoying it. It's it's a good end to the season.
So if none of this happens, all right, let's say this doesn't happen. Like let's say you play your idol and maybe you win, but maybe you don't. You're potentially not invited back. You're invited. I mean, like, this season is one of the greatest seasons of Survivor I've ever seen in my entire life. Guess what?
Yeah.
Your next season is one of the greatest seasons of Survivor I've ever seen in my entire life, and you're a major component of both.
So look, it was. I definitely knew that going home with the 2 was like, that was my ticket back. Like, that is an easy story for people to get behind and get around. So as much as it was like so painful, it was like, you know, my villain arc, you know, origin story. So you know, if I didn't have that, I may not have had the invite. So as painful as it was at the time, I'm glad I got that chance at the end.
There you go.
Okay. What one last question, because I need to know this, because all right, so I meet King George right before your next season airs.
Yes, yeah. He was over there for Hearts to Reality, yeah.
Hearts to Reality. And I'm just like, please tell me that you're working with Simon, because I love Simon. And he goes, oh, well, Simon holds a little animosity towards me. I'm just like, you had nothing to do with Simon going. He goes, he may feel differently. Why do you feel, or why does George feel that that he is responsible for you going home?
Yeah, I don't know. I never held anything against him for that moment, and I'd never hold anything against anyone for voting someone out, like a critical part of the game. Like, so yeah,
Well, it felt like that watching your next season.
I know that's kind of funny there, but like, I think it comes down to how you treat people and you know your own experience there and stuff like that. Inside and and maybe outside the game is important as well. So yeah,
okay.
I think that's probably a good way to put it. But yeah, everyone's got their own perspective on things. But yeah, what happens in the game happens in the game, and like, geez, I don't hold that against anyone ever.
Okay. So did Joey suck out there?
What? Sorry.
Did Joey suck?
Who?
Joe. Exactly.
Joey.
Oh, Joey. I mean, he was like larger than life. He was, and I was never on the club with him.
Okay. Yeah. King George said he
Very political answer.
He showed up and like ruined everyone's bar tab and was an asshole. So.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I wasn't around for that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, we kind of hate Joey. We love you, but we kind of hated Joey, and we're working our way. For the record, I don't know if you know this. My winner pick for Brains versus Brawn was Emmett.
Yeah. Right. Well, and in Emmett, we hold that same position, right? Like, we're very similar demographic, kind of. In another world, we almost like merge into the same person. So, yeah, I'll take that.
You're an actual fan. You're an actual fan of the show, and
sure. But, yeah.
And remotely likable, and
I'll take that.
And
I'm gonna before Smoko finishes.
Yeah, what's that?
I'm gonna go eat my lasagna before
Smoko
over here, lunch break.
Hey, thank you so much, Simon. You're the best. We love you. We're gonna have you back at the end. Well, I mean, who knows? We'll see. We're gonna have you back on your next season, but we'll have you back. Simon, I love you. Thank you so much. You're one of my favorite players in the history of Survivor ever. I love you. We have an alliance. I will ride the Lightning. I swear. They're doing Australia versus US. You know this. We'll both be there. We're working together. I will not fuck you over. You fuck me over. You will fucking see some lightning in your asshole.
Thanks, John. Say hi to your for me.
See you, brother.
Thank you so much.
Simon.
Dude, this is why patrons are patrons.
Yep.
Did
It's
you have
so
any
cool.
clue, Matt?
I had no clue, dude. I had no clue.
Everyone else. Why do you think Wayne's here?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
I have
I
a
was just
2-year-old
like,
that won't sleep in bed.
Yeah, he has a 2-year that will not sleep. He's like, I'm not missing Ride the Lightning.
dude, I fucking
Johnny
love
sent a
it.
message, was like, ride the lightning, get on now. That was
Oh,
it.
dude. That shit's killer, man. He's so fucking cool.
Mhm.
I mean, so Karen, if you had a choice, eye candy on the TV screen, Emmett versus Simon, who you picking?
Oh, definitely always Simon.
Always Simon.
Simon's like
What do you mean?
entertaining.
What do you mean?
Simon's personality is fit. Like tonight, like there was some shit. I have my notes here where Emmett's like, dude, this shit's like totally lit. I'm like, you're like a total fucking douche. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, he sucks.
Yeah.
Dude, you really had no clue. Were you
dude,
like,
I had zero.
were you hoping?
No, I wasn't even fucking thinking in the possibility that we were gonna have a fucking guest. Period.
Wow.
I'm sitting here
That's
like drinking
amazing.
my beer and I'm like looking at my notes. And I fucking look. I'm like, fucking holy hell, dude! Fucking killer. Perfect timing. That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
That's
Good,
cool.
He
good
is
job,
such
fair
a
play.
sweetheart.
Oh, dude, he fucking
And-
rules, man.
And whatever you feel you got from this, Simon,
Yeah.
you get that on the next go round. He tells you, he's just like, I'm a fan. This fucking destroyed me.
Yeah, dude.
So
Had to.
and for him to tell, it's just like, look, there's only 2 people in my tribe that ever fucking seen the show before.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're like, what do you think's happening tomorrow? It's like, a reward challenge.
Oh, that would be so irritating.
Oh,
I'd be
God.
so annoyed.
Oh, dude, I'd be pissed.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
after interacting with him in this show, it's like I don't understand how in his seasons there's always people that don't like Simon. It's like they edit him to make the viewer think like you're not supposed to like him, but talking to him for 3 seconds, it's like, why don't you
3
like him?
seconds.
He's awesome.
Yeah, I
rules.
feel like they kind of edit him in a way that like he has no idea what's going on. But like,
yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
The edit kind of makes no sense in that because when they bring him back, we get the exact opposite edit for no reason.
Yep. Yep.
So everything you showed us before, you were wrong.
Yeah.
So yeah, Matt. This
Edited wrong.
guy left by most people's perspective, kind of a douchebag.
Wow.
Like you were actually kind of right on this one.
Man.
And that like people are just like, hey, the guy was stupid. He got caught, like, you know, blah blah blah. And when this guy goes back and explain, like I mean, what would you say is edited on a second? Like people are just like, I mean, do we all love Simon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Hero. He was hero edited.
Hero edit. He's on the villain's tribe. He has a hero edit.
Yep.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's the hero of the villains.
That's crazy.
How insane is that?
That's fucking great. Because, like I said, dude, I have no clue. I know nothing about Ride the Lightning. I don't know how far it goes. Nothing.
Ride the Lightning is the greatest line in the history of any Survivor ever. Like honestly, I am gonna get a pinball and a lightning rod tattoo because of my 2 loves.
Oh, that's so great. That rules.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll let you guys recap because I didn't watch this and I got to go deal with my toddler. But I just
I know.
That was amazing.
I like Wayne faking it until Simon showed up for Matt.
Oh yeah, like
Oh, yeah,
Wayne's not
totally.
saying much. Why is Wayne here?
Yeah.
Well,
Here, hang out.
that's usually when he's really high on a Big Brother podcast, but that's not the case. So, all right,
Oh,
Wayne,
I love it.
you want to do Big Brother tomorrow morning?
I can't. Tomorrow's my birthday.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, we could do it Wednesday. We could do it Wednesday
Let's do Wednesday.
Let's do
my God.
Wednesday.
What's my Wednesday? My Wednesday's insane.
or Thursday.
let's do-
Talk to me later.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. I can do.
Are
Wednesday
you
or
joining
Thursday.
us for Q&A after this?
I'm not. Maybe it depends on what happens with my daughter.
Yeah. Listen,
Also, my internet is. You guys might not be able to tell, but I'm in and out pretty often over here.
no,
so I'm gonna figure out
this
my
has been
internet.
one of your better ones.
Okay, cool. It's been
Yeah.
pretty bad on my end.
Oh no, it's been great on this end.
All right, cool.
Yeah, congrats. All All right. What? And now it's shit in the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's right there. I get like 30 seconds to talk at a time before I get a break. So I'll let you guys know. Enjoy the rest of this one.
Cheers.
All right, see you guys.
So fast forwarding, I think we're at the point where we're at the Brawn tribe.
Now it is time for Simon to share his secret. He has 2 idols.
Yeah.
And Danny quickly reveals it's time to cut his head off.
That's a big mistake. I don't know why you have to tell people you have 2. You already were honest enough to let them know you have 1. Keep that other one in the back pocket.
Well, no, I mean, as we hear here that we don't see there is he offered her 1.
This is why, okay, hearing his explanation. Okay, so the whole time watching the episode, I'm just like, this is so dumb of them to throw the challenge just to get rid of him. Like for Danny, at least. Like this is great for Haley.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Danny's not a good. But once again, Danny has never seen the show. Haley has seen the show, so this makes a lot more sense in that aspect.
I think this might be a lot more Haley than we even saw. Like, maybe.
Well, I mean, and he even says this is Haley's move, not hers. I think we're getting the edit that it's more Danny than it is, but we're also getting the edit that it's more Haley than Danny.
Right. I guess I just think that what he said made sense. Like, if like she's his number 1 or whatever, and he's like, we can share this idol, it doesn't make sense from her perspective to cut him then.
I think she tells Haley that he's even willing to share it, and then Haley's like, "Oh yeah, this is the move." And
Probably.
Danny's
It's the move for Haley.
Yeah, and Danny's like, "I don't know Survivor, but talking to someone that does, this is the right move for me because you said it and you watch Survivor, and you're gonna fuck me if you can." But not literally, because I would like to fuck Haley, but no one wants to fuck Danny. Wait, what?
I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
I don't either. I just remember that George is gassy. Okay,
Dude,
so it's time for reward, and it's a trip to the Survivor candy store. And guess what? Way and Haley are sitting this one out. Okay, and what's this challenge, Matt?
So you basically row out on these rafts to collect rings, and then at the end, it's a ring toss carnival game. You land the most rings to spell whatever.
Well, there's no way the Brawn's going to lose. So fast forward. Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea at the time, she was killing it for Brawn, like throughout the raft part where she was just going up and collecting everything.
But Emmett, smart enough to just say, George, hang on to this ring and let me swing you guys around in the correct direction.
Yeah, he is very smart. Emmett was dominating. He wins it for them.
Smart. Subtract the very.
Yeah, well, he was smart in this challenge. He wins it for them. So brains win reward.
Well, it was a showdown between our good friend Simon and Emmett. And Emmett wins and squints is what I have in my notes. And
so it's the Brains Tribe win reward, and it's the reward time where Kez is like, it's my dream come true. But even before the reward, like, oh my God, I'm so excited.
Dream. And George goes, I think there's going to be an advantage. And we're going to draw straws, and I'm going to draw the biggest straw.
Now, Johnny, refresh my memory. Yes. So when Golden God played the one season where he goes on the reward one at a time, and he's tearing shit. He doesn't care about his family's video.
The video of your family, and he does not look at the screen.
So this is kind of how this plays out. Correct?
They do this every most seasons. They have a reward, just like, which I think US should steal. Everything we saw today, US should steal.
I love this.
Why are we watching puzzles that Carson has memorized? 4 puzzles that Carson has memorized, but we can't steal 3 things from this.
I know. This was
Yeah.
brilliant. Now, Kara ends up going first out of this group because
Why?
because George grabbed the longest stick,
Okay.
thinking that it was going to be longest to shortest, but it was the reverse of that.
Okay. Matt, do you know how this works? It's who draws the short straw.
Well,
That's the whole freeze.
shortest straw. So, anyway, yeah, Kara goes. Now, were you
So
surprised?
George purposely grabs the big stick and it's like, yeah, you're last.
I know. Were you surprised though? So Kara goes in first. She sees in the yellow bunch of candy in that cylinder thing that she finds the thing really quickly.
I think they moved. I think once they found out Kara was going first, they placed it on the outside so she could see it.
It was
Or-
really
Yeah.
obvious. At least in past seasons, they've like you had to look for
You've
it.
had,
That was just
yeah.
like, here it is.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel if Laura was first, it would have been underneath the shelter.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
yeah.
you would have had to dig like 3 feet.
Well, yeah. I know.
But
I
like
know.
Kara was or George, like I feel like George would have been like you would have had to look for it.
Oh, yeah. Right.
So but Kara, they're like, oh fuck. Kara, they're just put on the outside of the thing. They're like,
But
well,
I will say this though. I like the fact that Kara finds this advantage, which is her and someone else can go to a tribal council, cast votes. I like this better than someone just finding an idol or a clue to an idol. That would just be too just kind of
I wouldn't have minded King George getting an idol at this point.
yeah, that's true.
I feel like this is one of those twists where it's like I don't really feel one way or the other about it, but it's fine. It adds another layer to the episode, but it's not too disruptive.
No,
Yeah.
I feel like this is one of the twists where they had placed into the beginning of the game before they knew anything happening,
Mhm.
and it just happened to hit right here, and they're like, "Well, it is what it is,"
Yeah.
and they made the most of it, but it was really inconsequential. Other than the fact that I'm sure Danny's not going to like Haley doing what she did.
No. I
can't
agree. Yeah, like after this goes down, you mean?
Yeah, Haley's not, or Danny's not happy, and she shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
To me, okay, if anybody's paying attention, what Haley did there, she should be public enemy number 1. Like she is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they catch on to that.
And I feel like that was unnecessary on Haley's part.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, because I feel like even though Danny at all times thinks she's in control, I feel like Haley can control Danny.
Mm-hmm.
And when you need to make the move, you just make the move. Like let Danny think she's like. What's wrong with letting Danny think she's in control?
Nothing. Yeah, I think it's the
you have
pride of
Danny-
Haley.
If you have Danny, you have Chelsea.
Yeah. Right.
But she wanted to keep Flick.
Well, Matt, do you have a problem keeping Flick?
No, I don't. I don't.
We got
I don't have a
so
problem.
much of her butt this episode.
I know.
Holy
I was all about. My favorite part of the episode was Simon walking around like, kind of like, where's she going, and just like seeing her butt.
He goes, I'm watching her, and I'm like, so are we.
My favorite part of this candy reward, though, literally was Kaz going completely nuts, like just eating all the candy, putting chocolate all over her so she can just like lick it while she's after the fact.
She loves sweets. I don't know if you caught that. And also, we also learn here, George has been sticking to a strict diet for 6 months, but he will break it today.
Now, the only thing I will say,
every scene
he did. I will say this though, I find this to be dangerous territory of like people were like all that sugar that you haven't had the whole game.
Mm.
People are gonna crash and feel like utter shit and have massive headaches from this sugar crashing, I think.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna just I feel like you're gonna shit yourself.
Yeah, I honestly, like, as much as I would love candy and stuff, I feel that I would probably be more focused on looking for an idol and a clue than I would be like, yeah, I probably would have eaten like something, but the aftermath of that I think would be worse than the
I'd
eating the
focus.
food.
I'd focus on the donuts because at least it's some bread.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's a good plan.
I don't have a sweet tooth, but for the first time ever, like I'm sitting there like I feel like their idea of a sweet tooth is better than America's version of a sweet tooth.
Yeah.
Like
There's
I
more like
I was
candies and shit.
I mean, like, but it wasn't like stupid like I like gummy worms and I like chocolates with peanut butter. Like I don't really have a sweet, but I could have for the first time in my entire life like really gone all in on sweets where I never have ever. Like I just thought the presentation was so good.
It was
I'm just
colorful and
yeah, and I have never seen a girl want to suck up more worms in her mouth at one time than Kez, other than what I've done private internet searches on.
yeah, oh yeah, she was something else. So after this
Aaron,
whole
I'll send you the link. It's something.
Do it.
all this shit is day
Jesus,
25.
Aaron, relax. It's day 25.
Brawn tribe. Danny says the whole tribe to me needs to be on board to get out Simon. Danny tells Haley that he's got 2 idols, and Danny wants to throw the challenge to vote out Simon. And everyone, as Danny goes around and kind of discusses with the tribe, everyone is on board with this plan, so it seems.
Yeah, well, nothing can go wrong for Simon. So, but guess what? It's time for immunity, and we need someone to sit out. Simon is the first to volunteer, and I facepalm right there, and I'm like, "You poor dumb bastard."
Yeah, that was. I mean, he says like, "Hey, I want to sit down. I'm not good at balancing," but I don't think he would have a tough time with this. This is not.
Get way out of there.
You know what I mean?
Oh, well,
like,
Wade just sat out. You can't do 2 in a row.
yeah, so it was pretty obvious that they kept dropping the balls.
Well, George almost there was a fly in George's ear. He almost didn't make it.
Watching the edit,
yeah,
I felt like Simon should have noticed that they were throwing it.
Oh,
yeah, me
right.
too.
But based on what he said, I can.
Yeah, there's so much more going on that like that. I think he covered the edit with his conversation. So people are allowed to step out for meat pies, in which his tribe did because of the Brawn tribe, and he respects that because they need the protein because that's what the Brawns are about. So like those little winks and nods, he's not seeing that because like the majority of those could have come from the meat pie stuff.
Yeah, right.
So I don't think they're flaunting it like because everyone's on the same page of you say this, you follow with this, and even said they spent 3 days going over everyone's verbiage. So yeah, I don't think they were going, "Hey, dumb, we're throwing this and you're stupid, and you're not gonna play your idol because you're stupid." I don't think any of that was happening. I think the edit made you feel a little bit of that, but I think Simon and the fact that because I'm sitting there watching, I saw 12 pegs on there. Matt losing his mind. 12 pegs. Jesus. She's like, what? Are you talking Matt's 20th anniversary?
You're so stupid.
So, but
it was half the fucking pegs.
It was 12 pegs, and we still saw balls on there. Once again, Matt, pegs and balls. You had me in hello. So yeah, I knew there was something askew. Something strange was afoot at the Circle K.
Oh yes. So yeah, the Brains win, and this is where we see Cara telling everyone that she reads her advantage. 2 people to attend the tribal council. She volunteers herself, and she brings her buddy George along. where they can cast votes, but
Yeah.
they cannot be voted against at the tribal council. This is good for Cara and George.
Other than the fact that Danny's worried that they're going to mess everything up.
Yeah, Danny's. I don't like Danny throughout this whole time. I mean, we go back to the Brawn tribe where Simon's frustrated about the loss, but he's excited to send Flick home, and Simon feels like it could be a simple vote.
Yeah, he's easily tonight will be very simple.
And he's following Flick around. This is where I'm like looking at Flick's ass the whole time.
Yes.
And Haley wants it to be Danny if Simon plays the idol. So there's some split voting happening to where
she doesn't need Flick to go because she feels that Flick is much more controllable than Danny. I disagree. I feel they're equally as controllable.
Yeah, I do too. But yeah, going into tribal council,
I feel Haley's only worry is Emmett getting back with Danny. It will be a similar scenario to the Simon, Danny, Chelsea dynamic that she was earlier working with. So that may be a concern, but gosh darn it.
I bet she probably just vibes with Flick better, and like that makes a big difference on who you work with in the end.
Yeah, but I just feel like that was just such an early move for no like why put that in the universe that I don't know.
I think it's risky.
I think it's risky, and I think what they don't show is Haley's like, I think the merge is next episode because I watched the show and I know the show. And she's like, okay, so if Simon doesn't go, I at least need Danny out of here.
Yeah, right.
So she's doing. Haley seems to be a probability player, and so probability wise, because there is no reason Simon should not have played his idol.
I know. I don't know why in the hell he wouldn't have played his idol.
If that guy was 1% superstitious, breaking the flip flop, he's playing the idol.
Yeah. It just seems like there was too many red flags to not play an idol here this close to a merge when you have two idols. I understand, like, okay, I'm in a great spot. If I make it to merge, I got two idols. Oh, shit. But, dude, you got to get to merge first.
Yeah.
So this...
I would have played mine.
Yeah, there's no fucking way.
There's no way I would not. Like, yeah, I'm not going home being that guy.
No. Nope.
So, but once again, the good news is he comes back just because he's that guy.
Yes. So that is good. So we'll see how, I don't know how he plays a second time, but going into this tribal council, so George I love him. I do. And I love Karen, George. Here's what I don't love.
Karen, do you love Simon?
I think I've come around finally. I used to not be a fan, but definitely on the second watch, he's like way better. And like you said,
meeting
just talking to them for a second makes a difference too.
Oh my God. I mean, I just want to hug him.
Mm-hmm.
He seems like just a cool,
he is
kind human being.
And he loves Survivor.
I know, dude. I do too.
Yeah.
I love it too.
Emmett doesn't.
No. Half the people in this tribe
can't even write Survivor when his eyes are squinted.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, here's what I don't like. At Tribal Castle, Cara, George come in. George makes this really cool statement, and then you see Danny be like, "We're the Brawn. We're serious about this shit.
We don't do that here." And I'm just like, I was like, I forgot. You guys aren't good at making good TV. The other tribe is much better at that.
Yeah, Danny.
And fortunately for us, there's a merge because if Danny is writing the script, we're supposed to go to sleep right now.
Yeah, it was. I was not stoked on Danny. I'm like, shit. So
but don't worry. Baden is responsible for telling George and Cara to vote for Simon, so nothing can go wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he was real obvious, and even Simon was like, "Hey, I don't mean to interrupt you." Like, he obviously knew there was something going on.
Another red flag.
I was gonna say that's the biggest red flag.
Right.
Yep. I know. Yeah. That I don't understand. I would have loved to ask Simon that. Like,
well,
dude,
you had
come
the chance.
On. Yeah.
I forgot.
Play your idol.
Yeah.
Play your idol. So,
Yeah.
Baden tells Carr and George to vote for Simon.
Well,
'Cause Baden
no, but
asks-
Simon explains to everyone he is worried, but he's trusting his people. And he
Yeah.
explains afterwards that everyone loves a blind side. And JLP goes, yeah, who doesn't love a blind side?
So, I mean, I'll tell you this. At the end of the day, as much as I hate Simon going home, mad props to everyone who got together, because if you're playing Survivor and you see someone as likable as Simon with two idols and you have a chance to blindside him and he actually doesn't play it, it's a brilliant move on everyone's part to get Simon out of the game.
Yeah. And,
As
and
much as it sucks.
I don't think they did a great job of showing how likable Simon is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they ran into an issue here for no reason. I mean, like, honestly, I don't think Rachel and Laura should have gotten 1 second of airtime for us to show that there's a difference between Emmett and Simon.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I mean,
I think they should have taken 12 extra seconds to show that Emmett's an asshole and that Simon is likable.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Simon's extremely likable. So yeah, share someone out there in Patreon land, share our podcast with the world to show everyone how likable Simon is. Because Simon freaking rules here.
Please don't share it.
No, I'm just saying, hey, it's Simon is
I might share this one. It's so good.
I mean, this is, to me, making this episode public, would show how badass it is to become a patron, in my opinion. If I'm not on the podcast and I see this, I'm a fan of Survivor,
You're
we're
like,
talking about Simon and Simon comes on, where do you get this content, dude? Like, I am fucking pleased with this shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When Haley does her vote, she says, Danny, thanks for doing the legwork. I'll take the reins now. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yes.
And if anyone has an advantage or a hidden immunity idol and you like to play it, now would be the time to do so. No idol played. Simon says
actually.
blindside, and damn it.
Sucks. I was bummed, dude.
And we get a "you are correct." The tribe has spoken. And then George says in a throwaway line that I hope is addressed next week. George, how dumb can you be, Baden?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't understand. Like, is George saying, "Hey, why don't you keep the guy with two idols and use them?" Or were you overly obvious in your conversation to me? I don't know.
Right.
I'm hoping it's addressed next step. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I feel that we saw that for a reason.
Yeah. Right.
And so next week is the merge. Kez finds an idol. Apparently, she puts it near her chocolate starfish. Well, my notes are confused. And George is the king of the new tribe, according to George. And then we have our final thoughts from Simon, in which he feels that they may have thrown the challenge today.
Yeah. Well, what an episode. That was a treat, him and Simon on. And yeah, fuck, we're about halfway through at this point, right?
We're exactly halfway through.
Yeah,
we're halfway through the days. I think we're more than halfway through the episodes.
Yeah, there you go.
I know,
Well,
maybe it's the same. Who knows?
Well, patrons, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. That freaking ruled. And we will see you next week for episode 13.
And to become a patron, go to realitypatron.com. That's realitypatron.com. I guess we're going to put this on the free side.
Yeah, become a patron, because like I said, if I was not on the podcast and I was watching this or as a patron, I would be so unbelievably stoked, because this is the kind of stuff that you want to see behind the scenes. This was a total surprise for me tonight. Johnny Fairplay always bringing the heat and bringing the surprises. So thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next week for another Australian Survivor episode. Cheers, everybody, and we love you all, and good night.
I got Rachel on the